One near-fatal moment changed everything. After a life-altering car accident, Alan Lazaros left behind a high-powered corporate career and stepped into the purpose-driven life. In this powerful episode, we will unpack the lessons trauma can teach us, how to rebuild from rock bottom, and why transformation isn't about perfection, it's about progress. Whether you're at a crossroads or still healing from your past, this conversation is your invitation to rewrite your story. Hey friends, when everything changes, how to turn your trauma into purpose. Today's guest, Alan Lazaros, has an inspiring story about how not to lose your spirit after a traumatic accident. He is the CEO of the Next Level University podcast and has been on over 2,000 podcast episodes. I mean, I can only aspire, just saying. Hello, Alan. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me. This is your 5th episode, yeah?
Yeah, it's about, I think this will be my 5th.
All right, episode 5. I've been where you are now, and good for you. Keep climbing. This is awesome. I'm honored.
Okay, so please don't hate me if this ends up being episode 6.
That's okay. Yeah, of course. Hey, for anyone out there watching or listening, in podcasting, if you say something on accident that is not accurate, please do not reach out and hate on us. We are doing our best out here.
I appreciate you so much. Okay, so if you don't mind, could you share your story about the accident that changed everything for you, if you wouldn't mind?
Absolutely, of course. So this is stuff that I never used to talk about because I didn't understand that I was kind of hiding from it. And I know that you and I are going to talk a little bit about trauma and how trauma can be transformed into transformation. And that's definitely what happened for me. So I'll take you all the way back. Not a great start for me. So born and raised in Massachusetts. And unfortunately, my birth father, John McCorkle, so my real last name is actually McCorkle. I'll explain that in a minute. My birth father, John McCorkle, 1991, he was 28 years old, died suddenly in a car accident. I was 3.
That's terrible.
No, not good. Yeah, it is terrible. And my mom was 31 at the time. She was a stay-at-home mom. She had 2 little kids, me and my older sister. My sister was 6. So I was 2.5, almost 3. She was 5.5, almost 6. And it was very, very sudden and not a good start. From that moment, I had a stepfather named Steve Lazarus from age 3 to 14. And so my last name, I took his last name, I think around age 7 or something like that. And when we were trying to be the Lazaruses, we weren't really associating much with the McCorkles anymore. My birth father, John McCorkle, was part of a big Irish Catholic family that grew up in Holden, Massachusetts. It was Jim, Joe, John, Jane, Joan, Jeanette. 6 kids, all J.
My kids are Parker and Piper, and if I had more, I'd be all Penelope and whatever. Yeah.
Parker, Piper, Penelope, and PPOP. Yeah. I love it. But anyways, so we were the Lazaruses, and I playfully refer to that part of my life as boats and BS. And the reason why is because from 1991 to basically the early 2000s, my stepdad was around. And he worked for a company called AGFA. They did hospital computers during the dot-com era. And so the 90s were wild economic boom times, not only globally, but also especially in the US. And he was doing hospital computers, digitalization. So we did very well. From the outside in, I looked like the rich kid. Lived on a lake. Mom drove a BMW. You know, we had boats and snowmobiles and ski trips and multiple trucks. We had a yacht. We owned another apartment building. So yeah.
Can you be my new best friend? No.
Yeah. Well, so from the outside looking in, I looked like everything was great. From the inside out, my mom and stepdad did not get along, and that's a polite way to put it. They had what I now refer to as a pleasure-centered paradigm, which is a deep belief that life is about having as much fun as possible, which when it comes to partying, that looks really fun from the outside in, but there's always some really negative things. So 14 years old, my stepdad leaves. Mom and him finally decide, you know what, we got to can this. He leaves. He takes his entire extended family with him. All of them. Aunts, uncles, grandma, grandpa, everything. To this day, never seen or spoken to a single one of them since.
That's terrible.
Not great. And now, remember, the McCorkles, we didn't really associate much with. Same year, kid you not, I'm 14 years old. I'm a freshman in high school. And you think I look young now. Imagine me in high school, right? Loser. Absolute loser. Seriously,
Bet
though.
you were adorable. Shut the front door.
Thank you.
You would be in my friend group for sure.
But the problem is, this is when boys started becoming men, and I just didn't. Still haven't. I'm hoping 37's my year. But anyways, I'm kidding. So 14 years old, stepdad leaves, don't associate with the Corkles or the Lazarus's anymore. My mom gets in a fight with my Aunt Sandy on her side, her sister. We get ostracized from her side of the family. To this day, I kid you not, I have seen or spoken to 2 human beings from my mother's side.
That's terrible.
Didn't know any of this at the time, by the way. Jessica, this is my 36-year-old self reflecting back. I got a therapist in my 30s, and we just reflect, and this is not normal.
Right.
So I lost 3 families, kind of, by the time I'm 14 years old. We reassociate with the McCorkles, my birth father's side, a bit, but it's kind of Ghost of Christmas Past because I look just like my dad. So that was never the same. And I still adore them, but not the same. So by the time I'm 14, I kind of lost 3 families.
So that must be, I mean, you have commitment issues, right?
I did.
I'm messing with you.
No, no, don't be sorry. I think it's hilarious. Trauma jokes are my best, my favorite. Same year, I kid you not, sister moves out with her older boyfriend. Understandable. My mom and I alone in that house by ourselves. So I look into the future and I say, okay, no generational wealth, no trust fund, no dad. We are in some serious trouble here. And this is the prove myself, super achiever, fear of abandonment type of version of me. I do think metaphorically, I used to be too scared to share this because people think it's pretentious, but whatever. I got to be me. I do think Good Will Hunting. I remember MySpace. If anyone remembers MySpace, way before Facebook.
I do.
Okay, nice, awesome. So how old are you? So I have reference.
I think I could be your mom. I'm like way older than you. No, I'm just teasing.
All good. All right, so
you, right? So hey, no.
Nice, Jessica. We're gonna have fun, you and I. So you remember MySpace?
Yes.
On my MySpace, it was called Lazo, and I had the Good Will Hunting duck pond scene with Robin Williams and Matt Damon, and that was my favorite movie of all time.
How do you like them apples, right? No,
you know it. You know it. No, don't be sorry. I love it. So now I understand, though. I think Good Will Hunting is a decent metaphor for my life. Sort of this math genius guy who feels abandoned and struggles with abandonment issues. I got straight A's through all of high school. Big math and science nerd. I got all the physics and math awards and all that stuff. And it went from, okay, I hope I get into my dream college, WPI. It's like a mini MIT, Worcester Polytechnic Institute. It's kind of like, it's one of the best tech schools, engineering schools in the world. And when I was young, I had these two dreams. I had, 100 dreams, but these are the 2 main ones. It was going to be lawyer, politician, president, or it was going to be, I kid you not.
That's
Apparently
awesome.
This stuff is weird. I didn't realize it until later in life.
It's not weird.
Or it was going to be engineer, MBA, Fortune 50 CEO, like my hero at the time, Steve Jobs. So I built my first computer when I was 12, me and my buddy Kiki, and we used to argue who was smarter, Bill Gates or Steve Jobs, Apple versus Microsoft, that whole thing. And now I realize all that's weird. But it was normal for me, and so I just became this super achiever, prove myself guy. Straight A's through all of high school, got all the scholarships, financial aid I could because I didn't know how I was going to afford college when my stepdad left. Got into WPI, graduated with high distinction, computer engineering bachelor's, master's in business, and then it was off to the races. So I did the traditional path. I did preschool, kindergarten, elementary school, middle school, high school, college, and corporate. And I did it, and I did very well. And all of a sudden I went from a broke high school and college kid, and I mean broke. Like in high school, we didn't even have cable, and to basically making a ton of money. So I went from 65 a year to 85 a year, and then 85,000. And then I went from 85,000 to 105, and then I went from 105 to 125, and then I went from 125 to 180. By the time I think I was 23 or 24 at this time, no kids, no mortgage, bought a 500.
Spending it wisely, were you? No.
No, I was. Oh, okay. Yeah. So I lived with my girlfriend Courtney at the time. We lived on a lake. Our rent was $500 each, small place. No kids, no mortgage. I bought a 2004 Volkswagen Passat. For me, I wanted to be debt free. So I paid off all my college debt in a single year, $84,000 worth of debt in a single year. I put the rest in a Vanguard account, and I had $150,000 in a Vanguard account. And I picked tech companies, so it grew like crazy. And I now realize in hindsight that because I was a techie and a computer engineer, I could kind of tell where technology was going. So I could bet, well, that's what the stock market is. You basically just bet on companies will win. And when you say will win, I'm saying that tongue in cheek because no one really knows, but you can bet on probability. It's like playing poker. And so I was this obnoxious, work hard, play hard, career development oriented, count cards on the weekends, Mohegan Sun.
Did you really?
Yes.
Shame on you.
Yes. Yeah,
that's
I know.
Okay. I would do it too.
Well, the truth of the matter is, I mean, the poor casinos, right? Now, at the end of the day, I actually made a lot of money doing that. But at the end of the day, I realize now in hindsight, I was not living a life that was deeply meaningful. I was living a life that was kind of running from my abandonment challenges. I wanted to bring everyone with me. I brought my high school friends to college, my college friends to corporate, my corporate friends, were trying to bring everyone to the top of the company. And in hindsight, I got in a car accident at 26, my fault, head-on collision. And that was the wake-up call for me. So my birth father...
But you've had 2 accidents that changed your life. You've had one at 3 of your dad, and then now at 26. So you've had 2.
Well, that's exactly it. It's been a lot more than just 2, but those are the big ones.
You've been in more accidents than 2?
No.
You drive fast.
No. You're funny.
I actually was hit by 2 drunk drivers, so I really can't talk. I mean, legit. Yeah.
Very sorry to hear that.
I pulled you
so if nothing else from this episode too, 40,000 deaths a year as of right now in the U.S. Motor vehicle accidents. So just be safe in a car, right? Everyone's afraid of planes. Crazy. Don't be afraid of planes. Planes are fun.
Right?
Yeah.
Right. Exactly. Okay. I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. So at 26, this is the second chance my dad never got. And that's when I turned it all around. That's when I found personal growth, personal development, self-improvement. So I started a company called Alan Lazaros LLC, what you'll never learn in school, but desperately need to know. And I wanted to bring personal development to the masses. I'm still kind of on that journey. Good freaking luck, Alan. But that was 10 years ago. And that now we have an 18-person team, Next Level University, 2,100 episodes, 2,200 we're coming up on. And I now have 4 podcasts, 3 actually, and one of them is Kevin's. So four podcasts that my company does. And we now work with 108 podcasters and business owners like yourself, helping them grow and scale their impact and become more profitable and build personal brands. And now I'm a business coach.
Can I ask you a question real fast? Course. I'm sorry, I don't want to interrupt, but okay. So can we go back just a beat? Mm-hmm. So when you were letting go of your corporate strings, how at first to take that jump, how did it feel? I mean, was it like scary as shit? I mean, like letting go of what society expects of you, and, first of all, you're a man, right? And so I'm sorry to say women, but I truly I believe in the men should carry the weight of the family. I mean, I am an old school, although I do my own part, but I'm saying that, a woman should always rely on her man. I mean, did you have anybody on your shoulders where you were going to let go and you were fearful of doing that, like letting go of your corporate money and not for uncertainty, right?
Yeah. Well, so how do I articulate this? I think, so if you study the statistics on this, the number one form of shame for women in the U.S. at least, and again, I do think this is global, but I'm just going to use U.S. statistics because that's the only ones I know. So there's 350 million people in the U.S., and it's coming up on 350. It's like 345. The number one form of shame for women in the U.S. is body image.
Right. I mean, I'm top of the list right there. I used to be like you, skinny, hot, cute. Now I'm like plump and old.
Well,
but I'm working on it.
Well, yeah, nice. You're working on it. You can keep getting healthier. The number one form of shame for men is lack of success, finances. And so what are women valued for? Their looks. What are men valued for? Money. And I'm not saying that's right. As a matter of fact, I don't think that's right. What I will say is we've been enculturated and conditioned to believe that the value of a man is his ability to provide and the value of a woman is her ability to provide children and be attractive. Now, I'm not making that right, wrong, or indifferent. What I am saying is I have always had the chip on my shoulder, of course. prove myself, of course. What I've realized as I've matured is really deep down, all I want to do is prove it to myself. And you do have something to prove. I think we all do. When I was a little kid, I had heroes, right? I had The Rock, and I had Matt Damon, and all of them have fallen from the pedestal. And again, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with these men. They're just not what I thought or what I hoped. And I would like to I did a meditation with my therapist once, and she had me go into little Alan, and it was a deep meditation. And she said, look at you now from the perspective of when you were a little boy. What do you want to say to you? And it was the first time I had looked from that frame. And it's like, holy shit, man. Good for you, right? I mean, I was the Star Wars Episode 2 ride my bike to the theater 5 times because Natalie Portman's my biggest crush. And now my girlfriend and future wife is way better than that, right? So
right.
You can achieve your goals and dreams. And I think that we all have something to prove. And I don't think that's a bad thing. And yes, I have people to provide for. And yes, I wanted to save my family. And I think some of that is good. I think some of that is toxic. And I think it depends on what you do with it.
I'm just saying, like, how, when you're taking that leap to okay, I'm quitting, giving my notice, or however you did it, the month notice. I mean, a lot of people like me, if I was to leave my job, I'm like, okay, I'll leave in like a month. Or after you find somebody, like, I can't leave. I'm like one of those people that feel like I owe them, like, my legs, my arms, my last breath,
Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. Yeah. I've been there. Yep.
But what I'm saying is, like, okay, so when you took that leap and you gave your notice or whatever, how was the next step for you? How did you feel in that moment? I mean, was it like freeing, or was it super scary? Or, I mean, what would you give as advice to people that are listening that, like, just do it? Like, I mean, do you know what I'm trying to ask? I don't know if I am.
I do.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is where I'm weird, and I want to make this as clear as possible, because a lot of people say you can do anything you set your mind to and all that stuff. That's not true. Not everyone's going to be LeBron James. Not everyone's going to be Michael Phelps. Not everyone's going to be Alan Lazaros. We all have strengths and weaknesses. There's 340 species of dog, and we think there's only one type of person. No, where some of us are Great Danes, and some of us are Dalmatians, and some of us are Chihuahuas, and that's okay. What I will say, and this is something I never had the courage to share before, is I wasn't scared. Between you and me, success has always come very easy. The part that I was scared about was relationships. So, Jessica, I'm an engineer, math mind, academic. School always came easy to me. I definitely am gifted in the intellectual arena. I've never struggled really much with success or self-doubt in the career development department. What I will tell you is my social life was atrociously bad. And I basically spent my life being a chameleon and dialing myself down because this comes off as very pretentious. So I grew up in a very low vibe environment, and you and I probably grew up in similar environments in some ways. I can tell, I can feel it. And now that I'm so educated and sophisticated, now that I got out of that shit, it's very clear to me that I was never supposed to stay there. And, my guidance counselor said, Alan, you shouldn't even apply to MIT because you won't get in. And I remember thinking, like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like,
I hate it when people do that. I swear.
Yeah, it's the worst. And
that makes me want to do it like 100% more.
So here's why he said it. Because if I don't get in, then his numbers look worse. Because he's certain that I'll get into WPI or UMass Amherst. I got a free ride to UMass Amherst and stuff like that. So at the end of the day, my point to answer your original question is I wasn't scared on the success side. For me, I'm not afraid of failure. I'm afraid of success. Because if you are someone who does identify as gifted, even though you're not allowed to talk about it, you basically make other people very insecure and they chop you down. And so the taller I climb, the more I get chopped down and villainized, even though I'm just trying to help people. And so
I think you have a great message, though, because there are people out there that, do like, not cowered down, but they just try not to like express themselves too much because they don't want to come off as a certain way. But your confidence is inspiring, because I think a lot of people are like, yeah, man, I feel like maybe I can, or, maybe you put a spark under somebody just today. They're listening and they're going to be like, I have a niche that I think I have a problem that I can solve in America, and I'm going to go for it. And I think that's what we're here to do. I think that's what podcasting is for, is to like share your expertise and your stories in life. I have an MBA and I work for a broadcast media. I have nothing to do with what my MBA is about. And I now wrote a book, and now I'm doing a podcast. But
Nice.
I did start a company myself. I started a preschool out of my living room and built it to $1 million company. Right.
Cool.
And so I know what it's like to have some success. And I know what it's like to also have that success not build to what you think it's going to do.
And what does it do to your social life? So this is one thing I want to share, if you don't mind, is we all live in two worlds. And I didn't realize this until my 30s, late 20s. We live in the real world, which is who I am and what I am when no one's watching, my real life. Then there's the social world. That's my Instagram. That's the best way to describe the real world versus the social world. Is the real world. So the social world is the wedding photos. The real world is the actual marriage.
Right.
And if you focus more on the photos than the marriage, you're in deep shit.
Right.
But what I've come to realize is that the majority of people, just through human nature alone, they're trying to make the social world look better than the real world. We have filters. I was a fitness model, fitness competitor, fitness coach. I did 43 photo shoots at 3 competitions, won one of them with the overall. The point I'm making is I've coached. I've been around Patriots cheerleaders. I've modeled with them. I've interviewed millionaires, one billionaire. I've been in these rooms. One of my main mentors was the CEO of a $1 billion robotics company. You just learn over time that no one is what you think. And that everyone has these 3 layers of the ego. The outer layer is who you want others to believe you are. Then there's who you want to believe you are, which is self-delusion. And then the inner circle is who you really are. And in that car accident, it collapsed all 3 of the circles. And I've worked really hard since to keep my circles accurate. Some people dial up, other people's dial down. It's all to stay safe. So I have to act dumb because when I'm really intelligent, it makes people insecure and they chop me down. Other people have to act smart because they really aren't. And I just wish we could all be ourselves. And that's what I'm really hoping to do.
That's awesome. You're just a great guy. Okay, so I can ask you a question. Okay, so building Next Level University, what inspired you to like take it to a podcast, or, I know that you want to share your gift, but I mean, now you're taking it to a coaching platform. So, how is that working? I mean, how do people come and find you, and what does that coaching look like? Can you just break it down a little bit? Like, let's say I'm new to podcasting. So like I said, I'm a baby bird. I only aspire to have 2,000 episodes. Like maybe on my 2,000 episode, we'll come back together.
Nice. Let's do it. That would be awesome.
But how did you get into coaching, and what type of people are coming to find you for coaching, for your company, if you don't mind?
Well, so if I were coaching you, this is what I would take you through, and I can give you it all right now. So I'll start with my absolutely and my absolutely not people. So my absolutely people have high work ethic. They have high humility, inward humility. And they have a sincere interest to reach their potential, and they want to earn success. They don't want handouts. If you want handouts, you're in trouble with me because I don't have any for you. The absolutely not people, which I learned later than I wish, they want big rewards for minimal effort. And if that's you, do not reach out under any circumstance. We're not going to get along. I'm a striver, not an arriver. I'm not about that.
Oh my God, I love that line. Striver, not an arriver.
Thank you. Most people are, trying to arrive.
That sucker. Trademark it.
Yeah, right. Trademark it. So okay, let's say you're my absolute people, which I think you are. Usually my people have high self-belief and low self-worth. And I'm not saying that negative towards you. Hopefully that's okay. Kev, my business partner,
I wear my personality on my sleeve. If you don't know me already in the last 20 minutes, and you probably never know me.
Okay, sounds good. Well, I do think, and I was in that category too, so I'm not making it wrong. But typically high self-belief, low self-worth, and high work ethic. and they want to do it and they want to earn it. Okay. Now this is the process I would take you through. So we would have a dream statement. Mine is to build the most positively impactful personal development company in history. And it's a 10 plus year pie in the sky, true north, so to speak. It's your compass that is it's the macro. Okay. So this is what your life is about. It's 10 plus years out. Then we break it into so it's dreams, goals, quarterly goals. So we break it into 3 quarterly goals. I always say 1 is too few, 5 is too many. So 3 quarterly goals. So Q3 we're in right now, July, August, September. So by October 1st, you want to achieve this, this, and this. Okay. And that's based on your top 3 priorities. So I have 3 priorities. I have coaching, training, and podcasting. Coaching is 1-to-1. Training is 1-to-several. Podcasting is 1-to-scale. They all feed each other. So the 1-to-scale podcast brings people to my trainings. My trainings bring people to my coaching. My coaching informs what I talk about on the podcast because it's real people in the real world. Okay. So it feeds on itself. So dreams, goals, priorities. Then we have metrics, habits, skills, and identity. Metrics are, what are the top 3 metrics? So for me, I track number of coaching, training, and podcasts. So my metric currently is 10,933. This will be 10,934, this episode. And so that's my number of hours of coaching, training, and podcasting, or reps. I would call it reps because some of them are an hour, some of them are an hour and a half, some of them are half hour. But okay, so then that's dreams, goals, priorities, metrics, habits. Habits is the key. So I track habits every day. I have in Google Sheets, all my clients, all my team, we all track metrics and habits. And what's a good example of a habit I track?
Are you talking habits like in bad habits or just something that you do habitually every day?
That. Second one.
Okay.
So one of my habits would be this Dreamliner. Next Level Dreamliner. If you're on YouTube, you can see it. It's a journal, and it takes 10 minutes a day, and it's a gratitude. It starts with gratitudes, and then my most important tasks for the day, my most important lesson, that kind of thing. It helps you reverse engineer your goals and dreams. That's one habit. I track that every day. So now you've got dreams, goals, priorities, metrics, habits, and then skills. Every one of my clients has one most important skill. My most important skill is effective communication. And I track it. Thank you. Thank you. I used to be atrociously bad because I think in mathematics and no one else does statistically. So thank you. Effective communication. I have something called the 25 impact points of effective communication: tonality, storytelling, data. There's a bunch of different things. Hooks, visuals, all that. And I track myself on that. So make sure I'm getting better at communicating. I gave a speech one time on the 25 impact points of effective communication, and I bombed it. My business partner said, "Alan, only you could bomb a speech on effective communication." It was hilarious. I really did bomb it. It turns out because they didn't like me. Yeah, I didn't set it up right. I thought people wanted just the goods. But anyways, last one. So dreams, goals, priorities, metrics, habits, skills, and identity. Identity is the deep stuff. That's the trauma stuff we've been talking about, which is, are you afraid of failure or are you afraid of success? Are you afraid you're not good enough or are you afraid you're too much?
Yeah, like I mentioned which one earlier, I have imposter syndrome. Like, I started a podcast and my first few episodes are very cringy, but I'm getting better because I'm more relaxed now and I just want to have a conversation, and I might not ask all the right questions or be able to say what I'm thinking. Like you're very good at well, maybe you've done it a lot too, by the way. You probably have it down. So
that's what it is. It's not that I'm naturally good at it. I just have more reps than you.
Yeah. So this is where, so full disclosure, before I start an episode, I say my intro 20 million times the hour before to make sure that I don't stumble on my words.
Good for you.
Because I have imposter syndrome, and it's you think that this is easy. This is not easy, putting yourself out there, especially like you said, one of the thing with women is self-image. And I used to be, a hot tamale when I talk about it in my book, because in my book, I have so much confidence. You read the book, you think that I'm full of myself. And now you talk to me and I'm like, wah, 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 like schlep rock or something. But I just, I do struggle with self-image, and it's really hard to put yourself out there when you think you're like this big chubby girl and you're trying to, have conversations and you're like, what, it's just really difficult. So I know that someone like me would find a lot of value in all the things that you are offering in your coaching. And I know there are other women out there too that maybe don't have a lot of confidence in themselves, but they do have a great work ethic. Like I work really hard and I have 3 kids and I have a husband, for 28 years. And if you've, by the way, so I know you said you're about to get married or you're on that track. Okay. Let me give you I totally digress and off on a tangent, but anyways, let me just tell you a word of advice.
You're allowed to do that.
Let me just say a word of advice from my mom. She said, whenever her and my dad would fight, she tells us at every wedding, by the way, it's really embarrassing. But she said, whenever my mom and dad would fight and they were, fighting, she said, the first thing you do is take off your clothes and get naked because nobody can fight when you're nude. and then you just have sex. So can you imagine? She tells that at a wedding with the other family there. It's really embarrassing. But yeah, my mom, she's a really funny lady.
That's funny.
But anyway, that's my word of advice. If you're fighting about something, just take off your clothes.
So, Jessica, this is, and again, I don't want this to come off as pretentious, but we're being honest here. So, Emilia, when we first got together, this was almost 6 years ago. It'll be 6 years in October. And she said, Alan, we're never going to fight. And I remember thinking, okay, where I grew up, my mom and stepdad did not get along. Very polite way to put it. I mean, what in the actual F, right? And I remember thinking, sweetheart, what do you mean? We're going to be together forever. Like, obviously, we're going to fight. Jessica, I'm not joking. And this is more a testament to her than to me. Not once. Not a slammed door. Hey, not a slammed door.
You haven't locked
not a
that
single time
down? What is wrong with you?
I know. So here's the deal. We have a podcast together called the Conscious Couples Podcast. She's a podcaster too. We're business partners as well. So she and I are visionaries that have mapped it all out. Right? We have the timeline. She's involved. That's why I can say future wife, because we've already talked about it. We know when we're going to...
Wait, have you not asked her yet?
Not yet. Yeah. It's on purpose. It's in the works. Works.
Nope. Don't. No. You need to lock that down now. I'm sorry. I know she loved you, but dude, put a ring on it. Get married.
Jess, it is all...
We're having kids now. Are you going to have kids? Do you want kids?
Yeah, of course we are. Yeah.
Start.
We want to have two to three. Hold up. 2 to 3. 1 blue, one green. I'm kidding. No, here's the deal. I'm an engineer. It's all by design. Trust me. It's all by design. We're
You're
doing
so
it.
Funny.
I'm very rational. Very rational.
Her clock is ticking.
Look at the statistics. No. She takes very good care of herself. She's only 30.
Okay.
Yeah. She's only 30.
I had my last one at 36, so there is some time.
We've got time. I've done all the numbers.
And I'm 50. Let me tell you, I'm 51 and my daughter's 15, and they all want to do things that we used to do when I was like 25, and let's do fun things. And now I'm like, can you just go grab my pillow for me? And I don't want to do anything. She's like my gopher, my poor daughter. I'm like, go get this, go turn off the light.
But Jess, Emilia and I, we've exercised every day for 1,124 days.
Can you just be my personal trainer? That's what I need.
Of course I will. I used to fitness coach. I love it. The point that I'm making here, though, is people my whole life that you think too much, you work too hard, you got to do this, you got to do that. Jess, they say you don't want to have your kids in high school when you're 60. Yes, I do. When I'm 60, listen, there's a 73-year-old who swam the English Channel, a female, 105 miles. Trust me, these limiting beliefs have to go. I'm not interested. I can run a 5K.
I told you I'm old school. I can't help it.
No, I love it. I love it. I'm glad that we had this healthy Discord. But at the end of the day, here's the lesson in all of that. All of us need to just decide for ourselves what we believe is best. And Jess, in your defense, I'm the weird one. Everyone's been telling me that my whole life. They want us to get married the moment we met. And I think most people get married too early. There's 3 phases in a relationship. There's the honeymoon phase, there's the power struggle phase, and then there's the commitment stage. And a lot of people get married in the honeymoon phase. Emilia and I, it's all in the process. We are manifesting our future.
Okay, I'll get off of this because I know it's none of my damn business. But so my husband and I did date for 3 years before we did get married.
Nice. Good.
And we did everything on our own path.
Nice.
I talk about it in my book, but he asked me to marry him. We bought a house, and then I found out I was pregnant.
Nice. Perfect.
So then we got married.
Yeah, that worked. Oh, okay, nice.
It was all in a weird way. Like it was just
That's awesome.
all happening in a different direction than most people. And it really wasn't a shotgun wedding, but then it kind of was. I mean, he asked me before we knew I was pregnant, and I just ended up being pregnant. So I was like, whatever, let's just do it. But that's just a whole nother story. And I totally went off on a tangent. But so, okay, let's just break it down. Because I know I've taken a lot of your time. So let me do a lightning round. Oh, wait.
Yeah. Let's do it.
One more thing. For advice for people that are at a crossroads right now, trying to maybe decide what they're going to do, do you have any advice on where to start or the mindset shift that needs to take place?
Yeah. Well, the
words
only
of
wrong
encouragement.
Okay,
or if they're feeling stuck or broken is what I'm asking.
The only wrong answer is to stay. I always say nothing grows on the fence. So the only wrong answer is to make no choice. Because ultimately, assuming it's not something insanely reckless, you're sitting on the fence and you're so scared to make a move. So we're also afraid to make the wrong decision that we make no decision, and no decision ends up giving you no learning. So there's something I created called the learning loop. I wrote an article about it, and it starts with humble curiosity. Humble curiosity leads to new experience. New experience leads to new learning. New learning leads to new awareness. New awareness leads to a bigger vision. I mean, what's the difference between me at 16 and me now? I'm just more intelligent now. I know how to play the game of chess better because I'm more aware.
Smart. You're a lot more street smart than you. I mean, you learn over time. Lessons learned. My dad said life is nothing but lessons learned. But he also said that I shoot myself in my foot too much. So you can, which I often do. Can I ask you a question? Okay, so I didn't tell you I was going to ask you this, but do you have any affirmations or anything that you hold on to that would be helpful to?
Yeah, my mantra.
Yeah.
My mantra is to reach my own unique potential and help others do the same. Everything else is secondary.
All right.
So
that's good.
I believe in human potential, and I believe none of us are even coming close to our true potential. I really, myself included. Myself included.
Okay, so lightning round, a book that's changed your life. The
Compound Effect by Darren Hardy.
And what was that book about? I didn't read it.
Yeah, no stress. So one small, seemingly insignificant positive choices compounded over time leads to massive results.
And what's it called again? One more time.
The Compound Effect by Darren Hardy.
Okay.
Yep. It's right behind me.
I'm going to go get that book.
It's right here. It's unbelievable. I mean, it's really good.
Awesome.
It's right there.
Okay, so I just want to say,
get paid for that, by the way. Go ahead.
Right. I mean, I don't know how to monetize my podcast. It's just basically I'm just here to just have conversations. I haven't gotten to that. I can
help you with that if you'd like.
I would like.
Okay, the first one's free. We'll do a breakthrough session.
All right.
First one's totally free. No strings attached. If you don't work with me, no worries. But I'll give you a free breakthrough session. I'll help you. So after 2,200 episodes, we've made every mistake in the book. And I'll help you accelerate faster than we did.
That's awesome. You're so motivating. I just appreciate you coming and taking the time and giving us a few minutes. And where can people find you? Your coaching, your social media, and your podcast. And also, I mean, I hate to say this, but I don't have my website up yet. But I'm hoping I'm hoping to have it up soon. I'm working with somebody, and because I'm an entrepreneur. So, me, I'm a go girl, and I'm almost ready to tell him to go away and let me just do it on myself because I can do it myself. I'm like, why did I ask somebody to help me when I could have just done it myself and been done with it? So I don't have my website up yet, but it's coming. But I will post all of your info on there so people can find you when they, because hopefully this episode will be up forever and everybody can, that just is now coming in maybe because it's 2025. Let's just say somebody comes in 2030 and they're like, well, damn, I want to find him. You'll be on my website.
Look at you, future pacing. Way to go. And by the way, we do websites. So if you ever need help with that, let me know.
Oh my God, don't even go there because I've already paid for this dang thing.
Okay.
I'm not going to say what company it is, but I'm over it now. I'm just over it.
I see you.
Anyway,
not a good experience.
Where can they find you and talk about your podcast titles and where to go and yada, yada, yada?
So we do have a website called nextleveluniverse.com. The podcast is Next Level University. We have Next Level University. We have Podcast Growth University. I just started Business Growth University. So level up yourself, level up your podcast, level up your business. And a lot of people need to do all three of those in order to really be successful. So And then the other piece that I think is of a lot of value, if anyone is curious about working with me and you are humble and have work ethic and you want to reach your potential, if you Google my name or ChatGPT my name or whatever you use, everything about me will come up. And I do think that if what comes up is something that is compelling for you, especially with ChatGPT, because it'll give you a good summary of me and everything I've done in the world and on the internet and all that, I think that you should reach out. And the best place to actually reach me personally is my Instagram account. That's me, not AI, not an assistant. It's me. So DM me on Instagram, alazarus88. And I don't know if that'll be the case in 2030, but that's the case right now. So if this is 2030 from the future, ChatGPT or AI me or Google me or whatever, I'll be on the internet. That I'm certain of.
Well, I appreciate you, and thank you so much for joining us today. And in 2,000 episodes, I'm going to hold you to it, even though you're probably going to be, off on your yacht somewhere with your 3 kids. No,
yeah.
You're gonna
we want a sailboat. She's a sailor.
Yeah.
We want a sailboat.
Sailing. Okay, that's awesome.
She loves sailing. She sailed D1 in Providence College, actually.
What?
So,
yeah. So you have an athlete, and you guys are both scholars. I mean, lock it down, Alan.
Jessica, we're on it. Yeah, she's the most brilliant, wonderful, unbelievable person I've ever met in my entire life.
Oh, you're so have her watch this episode. I need the click, but have her watch it so she can see how much you love her.
Yes. So, yeah. Well, so she knows because we do this stuff together. We actually do joint interviews if you ever want to have us both.
This would be awesome, and maybe I don't know, have me on as one of your newbies. I'm just teasing. Talk about my book. Anyways, thank you so much for coming. Have a great afternoon.
Thank you, Jessica. I appreciate it.
All right. Bye.
Gather around when the sun dips low, talking about the days we used to know. VCR tapes and dial-up tones, raising kids living with achy bones. And big hair days, now it's carpool lines and PTA. Neon dreams turn into schoolyard fights, but our hearts glow in retro nights. We are Gen X, living both worlds. From cassette tapes to a digital world. Parenting now with a nod to the past. The retro love we know. Living both worlds, from cassette tapes to a digital world. Parenting now with a nod to the past. The retro love we know will last. We dance to the beats of the boombox sound. Now bedtime stories echo all around. But deep inside we're the mixtape kings, still fighting life with arcade dreams. Feeding families with a pizza slice,